So we got double terribleness. Oh, you guys can't hear the music? Oh, cool. Alright. Cool. I can totally hear the music. And since I could hear it with my headphones on, I assumed that you guys could hear it. But apparently not. Alright, in the bottom left is Wallace. He's white. In the top right is Jonoman, back to blue. In what could be the final game for both of these players, ASL2 runs. Jonoman in a good position here to clean sweep Wallace 3-0. And Wallace will be the player who comes so close. One game away from the finals, or one series away from the finals, and yet will be turned away with nothing. And Jonoman will be the one who walks away with $50. No, I don't have a webcam, so you wouldn't be able to see the girls. And the star girls are completely silent. It's like it's in their contract. They're not allowed to talk. They're just allowed to stand there and look pretty. And then, like, if the players have a problem with their keyboard, they just wave at somebody who knows about keyboards. But they don't talk to wave over, they just wave. So, not surprisingly, now that we're getting to the higher stages of this ASL, we have 2 games now, and none of the 4 builds, 2 games, 2 builds per game, for one for each player, none of the builds were 2 gates yet. We have had nice tech-oriented builds for both players. Oh, Wallace. Wallace blowing that up for me. Thanks, Wallace. Okay, so we were 5 for 5 for a second there before Wallace messed it up. But this will be the first 2 gate of this series. Could be Wallace feeling a little bit of pressure right here and feeling that he needs to rely on something a little bit more aggressive. I mean, his aggression worked out very well. Game 2. Not so much in Game 1, but in Game 2, picking up 8 probe kills, he was in an absolutely fabulous position, and he might have been able to win that game. I always think it's like if you're gonna go 2 gate on this map, you gotta proxy him. It's like an unwritten rule of match point. Oh, or you could proxy the robo. I guess that works too. We're doing proxy. No, that doesn't make sense. You can't be proxying the robo. What the hell is this? I guess he's proxying more gateways out here, so that he can go 4 gate. Yeah, I guess he's going 4 gate. Alright. So... yeah, I do not like this spot. Like... okay, he didn't want to place him here, because Jonoman totally went in with his probe and scouted it out, and would have been scouted. That's fine. But back here is so far away. Like, all I'm saying is build him here. I want him right here. I'm assuming this is buildable. This has to be buildable, because it's the same as this. Build him here. Because if his probe is coming up in this direction, he's scouting this. It's just going to happen. He's not going to come up here, stop from going in the base and going over. But this is so far away. It's very close in terms of air distance, but walking, it's like he has to come all the way down here and then turn around and come back up. It's so long. Do have a gas steal from Jonoman. Makes a little bit more sense since Wallace doesn't have the expansion. And Wallace will be able to keep a scout. Wallace is certainly suspecting something, as he has the probe in here for a very long time now, and there should have been a gas. Should have been a cyber core by now. So he doesn't know exactly what Wallace is doing, but Wallace is moving in. 2 zealots, +3, +3, plus 2 more laggers here. Total of 10. Versus the 7 for Jonoman, 8 for Jonoman, with a 9th that should be out in time. Ooh, that's 12. Wallace is going to have a distinct zealot advantage here. And Jonoman's throwing down some more gateways to hold himself. He actually did get a gas, and he mined a lot of gas. I'm surprised there's not a cyber core then, for as much gas as he's mined. He must have canceled it very late in the process to try to hold off this attack. Jonoman with a much higher zealot count now because Wallace is not using all of his forces, but Wallace had a very nice arc there. So kind of even in that first little skirmish. Now moving back in. Jonoman, some of the zealots are stuck in the back, but on the left side he was getting a better arc. On the right side, Wallace is getting a better arc. It looks like Wallace is going to push Jonoman back, now threatening some of his gateways. Getting a couple of punches off there. Do have some more zealots, and Wallace is just going to keep rallying against zealots. I kind of highly doubt, especially with this gas taken, that he's going to transition into an expansion or into goons anytime soon. Like, almost wouldn't be surprised to see this thing throw down a shield battery. At all. Because that's pretty much what Wallace is doing right now. Meanwhile, Jonoman, this is a huge loss right now. That's 300 minerals plus 100 minerals. 400 minerals he could have been putting towards zealots that Wallace did put towards zealots. So if Jonoman lost, it's because of how much gas he has tied up and he just can't use. But Wallace is trying to attack here with an absolutely terrible arc. And Jonoman's going to be able to crush that engagement. A couple of reinforcements coming up, but Jonoman, with a better than 2-to-1 advantage, is just going to manhandle Wallace. And Wallace is going to get pushed back. Oh, man. Oh, this is bad. This is not good. Gateway number 5 is coming up, and with that 5th gateway, there's no way Wallace can get back into this. He just didn't have the arc in that fight, and now he's going to lose almost all of his zealots. Should be some indication to Jonoman as to where the proxy is, as the zealots are retreating back in that general direction. Send some zealots to deal with that, send the other 2 to come back, and with zealots being produced here, he won't be able to do any damage. But still, taking out this proxy is going to be a huge blow to Wallace, going to force him to try something else, but he really doesn't have a whole lot of options. Well, Wallace does win that first fight. It's only going to cost him 1 zealot, it looks like. He did have a lot of injured zealots coming in against him from Jonoman, so not entirely surprising that he's able to win. Might be able to turn this around a little bit. Certainly going to try. He's still down by 15 supply, but maybe if he can sneak some zealots in, maybe he can try. Some scattered zealots from both players here. Trying to micro, 5 from Wallace, 4 from Jonoman, and that was a weird micro decision from Wallace, getting his unit sandwiched like that, and now with 1 extra reinforcement zealot from Jonoman, Wallace is going to lose that battle horribly yet again. Zealots are in his main, and are going to try to take out that pylon, deep powering to the gateways. These 2 gateways are still up, so he still does have some zealot production, even with this pylon lost, but it's not good. It's looking rather bad. There's still a gas here, that has been providing scouting this entire time. And now Jonoman's going in for the probe kills. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Losing a zealot in a one-on-one fight. I don't think these probes can take out all the zealots. They're doing their best to drill, and actually doing it rather effectively here. These zealots are not taking enough damage. Nowhere near enough damage, and Jonoman's coming in with more. 12 probes lost. Wallace, just 14 supply, and gonna lose another 4 right now. He's got 4 supply here, along with 4 supply there, and probably a zealot building for an extra 2. GG from Wallace. Jonoman takes it. 3-0. Just looked really solid, man. PvP is his best matchup. And proving it today, easily dispatching of a very good opponent in Wallace. I'm winning those $50. Alright. So, now that was fun. But now,